I wonder if you're clear audience, if you can hear things in the back of me. Clear audience is when you can hear outside of the five sense, the fifth sense, or one of the fifth sense, five senses. So I definitely know I'm inspired to do something else because I just spoke the Ruffians last time, and these are not pre-written. I'm just flowing this morning, and it's not. I'm pleading. You can hear me pleading with just about everything I've done in the Ruffian series, and probably a lot of other things for it to be the last. Let it be the last. Please let it be. But now I'm inspired as I just completed and renamed the number 9. I know I'm inspired. This isn't going to come from me. So what I'm going to try and do is really listen in to what I'm going to express, because when I'm asking it to be the last, because I feel I'm not really connecting to what some people may call love, the universe, or Christ, or the Godhead. But I'm going to say, and it may upset some people who are religious, because I'm not religious, even though I was raised up in a religion. I'm very aware of certain Christianity, more specifically, probably than any other faith, um, uh, and spiritualism, and things like that. But I respect all. To be honest, I could go into any sacred place that people have made sacred by prayer, and respect it. Though I don't know if I can really name myself. I'm a comedian of sorts, in the sense, in my own therapeutic way, or just by my own personality. But I've just been. They're gonna make this like a performance. And what I'm going to say is I just changed that part of the conversation that I'm being urged. So what I'm going to pretend now, even though I've talked about let's pretend being something else, I'm going to do an assumption. So I'm going to assume I'm introducing you to my angel. So I have an angel to my left who has a very soft voice, who is sort of reserved to my right, and then I have a deep male voice that is coming through, and it ricochets from left to right. So I will say to you, and I'm going to pretend I have an audience. As with all my work, I've had to pretend that people are interested in what I do, kind of assume that people want to read what I want to put out there, especially when you're coming from solitude. And if I had loads of friends saying to you, oh, do write the book. I mean, years ago, there was somebody who said to me, I know there's a book in there somewhere. And even when I spoke to spiritualism, and I spoke, one time I was chosen to be spoken to through a demonstration, and the man had said to me, boy, once when those books come, they will really come. And I just said, yeah, yeah. There was a few of us who got a similar message. And I was just like, yeah. And, I didn't really take it on board. I knew I would write one day, because I always did write. But, so if that person knows who they are, hopefully they're very happy with that. And hopefully there hasn't been anything untoward going on there. So as I finish the last diary, as with when I finish the book, there's an energy that comes. Now, I haven't done my usual meditation this morning, so I can feel the energy press towards my front. Now I feel like I've just been given a bowl of fresh air. So prior to being given that bowl of fresh air, I had a smell of tobacco. I have one nostril is blocked with a polyp. Sorry, it doesn't sound particularly nice, but it's the reality, the truth, natural voice now. I literally could feel like I'm in country air, as though I'm out in the country somewhere on top of a hill, and it's the most freshest, moistest air. I can hear a humming on my right side, which is about 10 inches, 12 inches from the device I'm using. And then I've got a female voice, which is about an angle, so which is again another about 20 inches from where the device is. And I'm speaking like this, but if this ever does come in front of somebody who can hear that little bit extra, the request was, a very soft female voice requested Christ consciousness. And after going through my experience, after moving away from a lot of what happened and moving to this property I'm in now, I went through a period where I've never felt I was a really good listener, good enough listener, especially as a mother. It's not a complaint I had, but it's just what I felt. And I really wanted to improve on that. But as I started to really want to lift my energy, I remembered that I always wanted to retrain my brain after reading a book by a doctor. and I set upon that journey, and I started going online and finding all these different meditation tunes. I'm obsessed with music anyway. If that's an obsession, obsession manifests obsession. My thing is music. It's my love. It's more than an obsession. It's my love, because I can take it or leave it. It's not something I do not go and find the people who made music. I appreciate them. I don't have no idea where they are. But if I can go to a concert, I do when I can. It's very rare. Certain of the tunes, brain frequency, different hertz used in the tunes in meditation music. That's when I became really sensitive to feeling myself, and then feeling a sensation that was against me. And as I would listen to certain tunes, a lot of them are on my social media by now, I felt what would originally be an oppressive sensation move away from me. I no longer connected to it. I no longer had happiness, or more acutely unhappiness or oppression with regards to that tune, which was absolutely incredible to me. I remember the journey started when I wanted. There's a chakra meditation, and I don't know if it is. It's from Eastern. I wouldn't be really careful what I'm saying. I don't know if it is in direct relation to Muslim or Islamic religious traditions. I think it's designed from someone with that background and some understanding. But it was the most beautiful singing and mention of a deity that or Godhead I've ever heard. But I love things like that, things like Sufism and things like that sing the praises of Allah. And I don't mind if it's Christianity. I don't mind what they may not like people like me. I don't know, but it really changes. It really has changed things for me, and I really am so grateful and respectful of that. But whilst I will speak how I feel, I would speak of inspiration. What has come back to me was Christ consciousness, and I remember getting to a point where someone spoke of it the other day, and I must find this and put it out there. Where it said when you come to a certain amount of development about yourself, you can almost hear your head speaking. You can hear your conversation. Several leaders have said, spiritual leaders have said that have written really best-selling books and have done workshops online and things like that. And he said, you ask if you're one or you're two, and you could really get that sense of separation. Well, I have been experiencing that. Also, you kind of go through this thing where you just seem to be admitting everything. You're almost like in a consistent confessional. I would just feel this consistent, this is that. But I didn't know if it was just myself, or if it was how you've ever connected to other people. And in my morbid states, I'd be like, well, obviously I'm of a certain age, and I've always felt like I'm going to die my whole life. And I just wondered if it's a stage of mortality, or if you get to a point, maybe you didn't realise what your life really was and what your connections to others were, and then when it comes to a stage of independence, where maybe your energies have always being dependent on each other, and then you get to a stage where it is no longer that. Everybody moves in different directions, or it comes to a time when something else has to come out. Maybe the truth of a connection that you never completely realised. Again, the same pattern of coming towards consciousness, and you are really able to let go. Maybe there is such a thing as that twin soul. That twin soul may not just be just you and another person. It may be several people. If you're in a family, your energies must always link, regardless whether you're close to each other or not. But you do start. I did go through that stage where I just felt like all this information was coming out of me, and I couldn't stop it. And even though I was starting to be shown things like, if you turn it around, what would it mean? So it may be as I just started to be separated from several situations, I maybe subconsciously didn't know I was holding on to them, holding on to certain things that happen. And as I started to meditate, do meditations, where it be Christ consciousness, it would be um, maybe what do they call it, shamanic drumming meditations, Tibetan healing bowls, different, all these different, pulled from all these different areas of religion and spirituality, all of which it just lifted me and changed all the energy around me. I didn't feel so stuck in anymore. I knew I had somewhere to go. If I fell in between that gap and I was waddling around thinking, oh, I could really know, then I thought, oh God, let me go and listen to something. Let me go and do, that will change. And really, really listen deep and pay attention. I have never had energy move like that for me before. And I think that's why the other day when in this series of diaries where I spoke about going to work and seeing this car of people, it would appear that the same people were then at a bus stop, and I felt this energy. I didn't quite see it, but I could feel it coming towards me in enough time to stop it completely impacting the real sensitive area of myself, which may have kept me in a bad situation for many days. I was lucky in that it's still up, and that is part of that is consciousness, being really aware of the difference between yourself and what is around you. And it may be that when you're called to do something else, to heal, whether it be yourself or something else. And now I can hear deep energy, which I hear this kind of like, where I don't know if I'm really bringing things through in the right way, or something's impatient, or somebody's about to come, something's about to happen. It seems like maybe all fiction, may not exist, it may be just my brain, maybe something's going wrong in my head, but I believe it to be something else. There's the genuine feeling of it. Sometimes when that's happened, I've gone to the door and wondered if somebody's been poking through the door, listening to me. I went to the door one day, I could hear something strange going on, and found watching a man through the spiral actually put a clipboard underneath my door. Interesting. So sometimes these are warning sounds, and sometimes it's said in spirituality. That's what I'm going to name it. Can't say that I'm right about everything. That if there are angels around you, that the animal world tend to take care of health, people with health issues. So if anything, I must have an absolute pack of guide dogs, cats, birds, and everything, because I live with so many different conditions. So there must be an animal for just about every vein, condition, everything that I am going through, which I'm blessed. And as I'm saying that, I can feel what I feel. I sometimes feel like a closed heat, which can smell really dirty because I haven't washed yet. And then I can smell it, and then I can feel absolutely like I am being lifted to a different place of calm. And I don't feel alone, I don't feel lonely, and I don't feel like I'm in solitude. And on the other hand, I'm not just sitting here making these things up. This is how I feel. But unless you really can hear and you have that sensibility, like mediumships or clairvoyance, or just something you're very instinctual, maybe you can listen to this. You can hear the phone going on. So there's nothing produced here. You can hear. Maybe you let me hear what I hear. And that was a really good thing about going along to demonstrations of spiritualism, is that with Christianity and other things that I attended, they actually spoke about it and recognised other energies for what they were, and the communication, and made sense. I mean, even though I've become concerned over the years that possibly people I had readings with, that there have been the other side of there are people you have readings with who you pay and they expect that, and they don't come after you because they predicted something and still be chasing you as if being a client. I mean, aggressively driving after you down the road, blah blah blah, all that kind of thing. They are very professional people who you have to make an appointment to go and see, and that everything is permissive between you and them. And then there's other people who decide that they want to target that side of your life, and that could be incredibly painful and specifically damaging towards your health because of how much you've got to how much energy and how it affects your energy. But I mean, I can't claim to be a medium or anything like that, or so I have certain experiences, and some of my writing comes to me in the form of creating characters that are mediums. And there is some information. Sometimes I feel very passionate about information, and I try and find a way of getting it out there in the belief that somebody else can take it. And that's something I learned from in spiritualism. Somebody would have that experience, and they will know they would have meditated or prayed or done whatever their ritual is before, and know that that information could help somebody. And there have been times I could witness actually sitting there, having made appointments with people, going and seeing people, and sometimes just sitting in the open demonstration and having gone there feeling absolutely confused and flashed a bit, and come out and somebody has shared that or said to me, can I just share this with you? And it has helped me enormously, enormously. So that's the good thing. So I kept asking for closure, and for the first time I actually feel I'm nearly there. I'm just going to keep pausing and waiting. See whether I close this one down, whether I'm going to feel, oh, just do that. For this segment, I definitely know that it was more of a request than it was what I wanted to do. Some of the other parts of this journey, which I've now decided all of it I'm going to put out there and allow it to be whatever it becomes. And it is what it is. I'm just sitting in the moment, listening round, and what I'm feeling for, what I feel coming towards is that functionality that I want. Ah, the buzzer. I was waiting for something to be delivered.